Here's the story for July 9th, A Loving Daughter. This is always one of my favorite stories. Ruth was living in a new home. She was living with her mother-in-law, whose name was Naomi. Ruth and Naomi did not have very much to eat. They needed some food. Ruth did not like her mother to be hungry. Ruth thought of a way to get food. She thought of the rich fields of grain that Naomi had told her about. These fields belonged to Naomi's cousin, Boaz. Surely he would not care if Ruth went into his field and picked up the grain that the reapers had dropped. Ruth said to her mother-in-law, "Let me go now to the field of Boaz. I will gather the grain that is dropped. I will bring it home to you. Then you can prepare us some supper." Naomi said, "Go, my daughter." Ruth left and went to the field. She followed the workers and picked up grain that they dropped. It happened that Boaz came by the field and saw Ruth working. He asked one of the workmen who she was. When Boaz heard about Ruth, he went over to her. He said, "Stay here in my field and gather grain." Ruth said, "Why are you so kind to me?" Then Boaz answered and said, "I have heard about you. I know that you have been a good daughter to your mother." Ruth thanked Boaz for being so kind to her. When evening came, Ruth took all the grain she had gathered. She made it ready to take home to her mother. Naomi was pleased to see her daughter. She was happy to have the grain that Ruth bought. They had a fine meal. For many days after that, Ruth went to the field of Boaz. Always he was kind to her. He had his men drop extra grain for her so that she would always have plenty. Boaz wanted to help Ruth because she helped her mother. The end. Time for bed, sweet dreams, and always remember that God loves you and I love you too. Good night.